defense, Duke's got a chance here on the road.
She is the top Power 4 bench scorer in the nation. And a terrific compliment to this Duke starting lineup. With a top 20 offensive efficiency rating this season, much better than it's been.
Both these teams are deep and balanced. They have a big game experience, which is important and different than regular experience being older players. They've played in big environments. They've played when the game matters. And this is a big one here in the ACC, as well as for NCAA seeding.
Both sides coming in with a strength of schedule inside the top 10. And both love to rebound and run, turn you over and run. Basically just get out and go with some tremendous athletes. Citron probing the baseline and stepped out of bounds.
So right away, when you're watching how Kara Lawson's team is going to cover ball screen coverage, it's hard hedge, tag on the weak side, recover. It's well done. Rotations that they've gone over and over, which will be really important. Notre Dame has to recognize that and look for the crackback pass, which is the other side of the floor.
Mair is their point guard. They're going to need her poise, and they're definitely going to need more production from that woman right there. Reagan Richardson has not been putting up the numbers the last few weeks. Kara Lawson says she's pivotal for them tonight. And they attack Olivia Miles.
Coming off the pin down, Kara Lawson will put Olivia Miles in as much ball screen action along with Maddy Westbeld as she can. Kara Lawson is really good about dictating, moving her pieces around, and putting them in a position to succeed.
Here is Hannah Hidalgo, and now Maddy Westbeld. This current lineup for Notre Dame is undefeated. Their 2 losses were when that woman was out injured earlier in the season. In fact, they have not lost since Thanksgiving weekend. Donovan, they're going to sag off of her. She's better off the bounce. And her pull-up in the lane will drop.
It's awkward. It might not look pretty, but when she gets to the middle of the floor and plays through the nail, she is tough to stop.
Here's Miles, number 6 in the country in assists, and has really improved her three-point shot this year.
28% 2 years ago, and in the offseason, while she was recovering from her knee injury, she worked on it. Now she's one of the better three-point shooters in the ACC.
Donovan with a nice box out. She'll get it and go.
I think Taina Mair is really important to Duke's success here. Number 22 in black. She is their point guard. She's only had 5 turnovers in the last 9 games. She has a great assist turnover ratio. She has improved her three-point shooting percentage from 28% to 41% this year. She's got to have a big game managing tempo for Duke.
So early fouls here for Hidalgo and Miles for the Fighting Irish. Richardson off the mark. Keeping them off the glass will be pivotal for Notre Dame. Deep 3-ball from Olivia.
I mean, Olivia's coming off a 28-point game where she made 8, and look how quickly Duke is out of the net and up the floor.
And Miles had her head turned, chirping to her own bench, and they got behind her.
A little celebration going on that deep 3.
You cannot look the other way against this Duke break.
It's not going to look good on film tomorrow.
Knocked out of bounds. Irish will keep it. Notre Dame 3rd in the country in scoring at 87 points per game. 50% field goal shooting, and number 1 in the country in 3 balls at 42%.
I think it's really challenging to take something away. They're efficient in their transition game, which is when they're at their best, but they also can play in the quarter court because they've got playmakers and shot makers.
Richardson down on the deck. Mair will pull up and hit.
Olivia Miles is not going to contest those plays, so when you get an opportunity in her in transition, you got to drive it through her chest.
Westbeld Donovan trying to keep her in front. Maddy goes to the right side to score.
I love the pace that Maddy Westbeld plays with. It's poised, it's always calm, her face never changes, her expression doesn't change, and she gets back to play some D.
The senior from Kettering, Ohio, in her 129th career start. Mair coming off the screen, and she'll knock it down.
She's not on the top of the scouting report for Duke, but I think she is highly efficient and really important to what they do.
Here we go at the Joyce Center. Both sides shooting 75% or better to open this one up. Donovan on the switch. Hidalgo finds Westbeld inside.
Ashlyn Jackson doing a really good job on Miles when she gives it up, not letting her hit it back.
With the blow-by in the lay-in. Number 2 in the country in scoring behind Taina Mair at Florida State. Trying to get the crowd some juice. Knocked that ball loose. Down on the deck, and it's held up, and Notre Dame will get it.
Hannah Hidalgo has an incredible change of pace. Right here, she just waits. She waits because she's reading the screener's defender. And when she sees the screener's defender go inside, that opens up the lane line. It's a great take by Hannah Hidalgo, who I think sees the floor and sees all 9 players all the time.
She averages 26 a game against ranked foes, coming off a season-low 11 points against Pitt. So, you know, she will be highly motivated offensively tonight. Here comes Olivia Miles. Her 3 triple-doubles this year, tops in the country. Westbeld gets an open look. Rattled out.
Watch Delaney Thomas run the floor. Number 12 in black.
The drop-off for Lucia Kanawa. Another hot hand coming off that Duke bench.
There's that pass I'm talking about, over the top, crackback.
Wide open driving lane for Hidalgo. She slices inside and draws the foul. Terrific start here in South Bend, a 1-point game in the first. Now in her 5th season, so is Niele Ivey. These were 2 fabulous players in their days. Lawson for Pat Summit, Niele right here at Notre Dame, guiding them to the 2001 National Championship.
They're both in their 5th year. They both have the best teams that they've had at their respective places, and they both have Final Four caliber opportunities. Right? You can put a checklist together, and you're going to check a lot of boxes with Niele Ivey's team, as well as with Kara Lawson at Duke.
Toby Fournier is now into the ballgame, number 35 in black. Their leading scorer. She comes off the bench.
Zoned by the Irish.
Working on a 2-3.
You got to know where Ashlyn Jackson is. So you got to throw a bounce pass there, because if you throw it up top and they can deflect it, you throw a bounce pass and your post player is sitting on the block, you got a better chance of completing that pass. Look at this right here. She just reaches around. You got to hold that contact. That's one of those things that Kara Lawson would say her freshman doesn't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? Posting up strong is important.
Mair, terrific start for her. She's got 7 as she hits the 3.
She's not going to be sleepy on anybody else's scouting report anymore after tonight.
Hidalgo.
That's a contested 3.
Kara Lawson wanted to contest the 3s and only give them tough 2s. Jackson will try for the triple, and here comes Miles. Head up, ball up court quickly to Hidalgo, and she'll take it in, shielding the defender with her body.
That's the team speed of the Irish in the backcourt. Olivia Miles immediately eyes to the rim once she gets the outlet.
Mair probes the top of that zone. Now Donovan, 16-footer, no. Crash by Akanawa. This is a really good offensive rebounding team, and Miles will scoot the other way with it. Looking for a trail. Carlin. Pass into traffic, and it's taken away. Here comes Mair. End to end we go. 15-footer. Taina Mair has shown up. Knocks it down, and an injury down at the other end of the floor. Leah King. And it's Niele Ivey who goes down to give her a boost. How about that from coach? In the mint green and the Louboutins headed down to the other end of the floor.
Don't want to speculate on what that might be, but I'm sure she's going to be okay. Ann Marquez, one of the best in the business there at the end of the bench for Notre Dame, the trainer.
Mai Forsberg, Brenda Pantoja, Katie Lukanich, the officiating crew tonight. So much at stake. Duke at 13-0 in the ACC, Notre Dame, and then NC State and Duke with 2 losses right behind them.
Have we mentioned Sonia Citron yet? She just came off the Iverson cut. In the high-low game, Duke's defense creates a turnover. Have we said Citron yet?
Yes, you did.
We're going to.
Hey, you got to keep moving. You want to touch the ball tonight. She's up there at the top of the zone now with Hidalgo. Miles is out. There's that ball fake. Fournier with a touch. Pitches it to the other side of the floor, and look at that box out. Bounces on the deck. Here comes Hidalgo. Cass Prosper is also into the ballgame now for Notre Dame. Jackson draws the assignment defending on Hidalgo. Prosper off the bounce. No. Bothered by Fournier.
Notre Dame's going zone on makes, man on miss.
Final 2 minutes of this engaging first quarter. Fournier splits a couple of defenders and draws a foul.
Yeah, I think Toby Fournier's activity around the rim, the restricted area, Beth, that's where she has to get a quality catch, because this is where she can mount up some foul trouble on Notre Dame's front line.
She's got twice as many free throw attempts as any of the other Blue Devils.
This is an advantage for Duke. It's an area on the floor where I think they can capitalize with their speed and athleticism and quickness.
Hey, Blue Devils' next game highlights our ESPN2 Thursday night schedule. They'll be hosting the Louisville Cardinal at Cameron Indoor. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern. Louisville also at 11-3 in the league. They're fighting for the double bye as a top 4 seed.
What an incredible job Jeff Walz and his staff have done this year with a young team, 9 new players, a lot of freshmen, led by freshmen.
Tough schedule down the stretch, which also means opportunity is available.
They got to come back here to Notre Dame and play as well.
That'll be the regular season finale, and that's Jordan Wood, the 6'4" sophomore from Chicago with range. And Duke goes up 5.
This is a fun matchup right here on the top of the floor. Aluchia Kanawa, one of the quickest players, going against the other quickest player in the league.
Hidalgo finds Citron off the ball fake. The senior from East Chester, New York.
Got a 2-for-1 opportunity here.
She made 8 of her 9 shots in the Pittsburgh win midweek. Jackson has to step away, under 10 on the shot clock. Good defense here for the Irish. Forcing the deep 3, and they can hold for 1.
They're going to go 1-4, flatten it out right here, low. And Hidalgo will stay on top of the floor until about 9 on the clock. Here comes the ball screen.
Hidalgo pulls up, short. Chance here for Duke. Hidalgo able to knock it loose and doesn't get it up in time. Duke shoots 53%.
And this keeps Notre Dame really out of foul trouble because guarding penetration from Duke would be an issue for them.
Look at Duke hammering the glass, and there's a foul. They have the #8 offensive rebound rate in the... Kate Koval, the freshman from the Ukraine at 6'5", is in the paint now.
Staying in that matchup zone.
They'll let Duke shoot over the top as opposed to give them the dribble penetration. Tough pass for Koval to handle.
Yeah, not a mobile 6'5", but a very skilled when she catches it on the block.
5 turnovers, mostly dead ball, which won't hurt them as much.
I think Hidalgo knows that. Hidalgo knows that. That might have been her fault. You got to improve that angle.
She and Miles are back out there together now in the backcourt. Here's Richardson. Thomas with the nice flash, deflected by Miles. Well, they certainly know how to attack the zone, and that's to get it to that free throw line. And look at Koval fighting for the rebound.
What a tough board.
King also back out on the floor, takes a bump, and free throws coming. That's a foul on Jordan Wood, her first.
Leah King with great footwork on the inside, playing off 2 feet, using her body. See, you go rim body ball, you can't block that shot, right? Man, that is a terrific job by Leah King to draw a little contact, not much.
Grad student transfer from Pittsburgh out of Washington, D.C. is a 47% free throw shooter, so
I'm fouling her late game. She's on my...
that's why she's got to stay away from the ball late game, right? They haven't had a whole lot of close matchups. No. This 17-game winning streak, they're crushing folks. 28 points per game, the margin of victory. And that is going to be a foul on Jaden Donovan, who got her arm up in Hidalgo's face. I don't think they're going to look at that to see if that was an elbow or not.
Look at a little smirk by Hidalgo. She's like, oh, I think I got away with one right there. Yeah, that, I don't know. You got to call that, I guess.
Takeaway. This is a live ball turnover, and then an offensive foul. They like Reagan Richardson to be aggressive, but the Irish defender beat her there.
It's a great steal. It's a good take, and it's Citron. What a play.
Time and again, she draws the tough defensive assignment for Notre Dame.
This is the dictating, disruptive defense of Duke right here. Not allowing Notre Dame to get into their sets early.
That's going to be another foul on top.
Well, all of a sudden, the foul's quickly mounting up on Duke.
That's on Delaney Thomas, her first.
And that's their 14th foul, Beth. So the next one is free throws for the Irish, getting into bonus early here, possibly in the second quarter.
Just underway. Citron will inbound. Miles. King hangs, rejected by Donovan, who can pretty much defend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't know what her wingspan is, but when you watch her live, she's got tremendous length. Great timing right there. And yes, Kara Lawson considers her her most versatile defender.
Said we're going to need that with all the switching going on tonight against the Fighting Irish. Their defense versus the ACC, opponents scoring just 52 a night, and they forced 23 turnovers with 11 steals. 5 on the shot clock. Hidalgo getting between defenders and frustrated that Koval couldn't handle the pass. It was a hot one. Usually you would look at your teammate and say, my bad, just so that you make sure
she catches the next one. But that's 2 in a row that Hidalgo's been upset about, that Koval didn't complete.
Hand in there and gets it right back for the Fighting Irish. Hidalgo spinning. Turned back out by Mair.
And just a good job of making Miles pick it up, not letting her play off that ball screen.
Their defense is all in your face. Koval, nice spin, missed the layup. Neither side has a bucket yet in this quarter.
Mair doing a good job of guarding Hidalgo up the floor. Look at that rebound by Koval, and she can't finish back to back.
This is 2 gimmies.
This is Duke's pace, though, and this is the scoring that Duke needs to keep the scoring down from Notre Dame.
Both sides better than 50% in the first quarter. They're 0 for combined in the second. King tries to wrap. Took an extra step. Will check back in for Duke.
If you're Carol Lawson, you're coming in here, the #1 team. You got a 2-point lead. You're holding down the scoring of Notre Dame, and you're dictating the tempo of the game. It's exactly what you would want coming on the road.
Get some game pressure on the Fighting Irish in that fourth quarter when they really haven't had a ton of it. Jackson. Both sides still searching.
It's a simple step-up screen, wide open Jackson. You got to start making some shots. Both teams.
Hidalgo 2 for 5 so far, 6 points and a reach in, and that's going to be 2 on Thomas. A good sign for Notre Dame. Westbeld's going to come back on. Hey, here's our ESPN Super Tuesday men's hoops lineup. It starts with #2 Florida and Oklahoma. Also Kansas in action, as well as Houston. All coming your way on Tuesday. Another great night of hoops.
Todd Golden's team at Florida is getting healthy. And Walter Clayton Jr. is one of the top guards in the SEC.
On the women's side, Thursday, Louisville at Duke, and then the ladies have a Sunday triple header on ESPN, including Notre Dame at NC State. College game day will be there. Wolfpack right now, believe it or not, Debbie, rooting for Duke tonight. Everybody needs somebody to beat Notre Dame to bring them back to the pack. Mair keeping it away from Hidalgo and the teardrop. She is 5 for 5 tonight.
Taina Mair, come on now, she's ready. What did Carol Lawson tell us before the game about competing, competitor? How much her team loves it.
Sophomore from Boston College, transferred in.
Oh,
Citron for 3.
What a shot fake, pass fake. She took 2 defenders away with that pass fake.
Mair feeling it. Around and out, her first miss. Irish with the lead. Under 5 to go here in the first half. Westbeld walked. Good closeout by guess who? Jaden Donovan.
This game's heating up right here. It's getting exciting in here. What a pass fake by Sonia Citron. She gives Notre Dame the 1-point lead. This is getting good.
Seven points, in fact. Andrea off of those Duke turnovers. or the Irish turnovers. Here's Fournier back on the floor. She'll get another touch. Faces up and goes right at Westbeld.
That is a beautiful repost. She repositions after she passes.
Carlin, Prosper, terrific break, and it starts with Hidalgo.
Whenever you take the ball all the way to the baseline, you flatten out the defense and you open up action through the middle third.
Jackson off the bounce. No help from the weak side, and she'll lay it up and in.
Duke showing some full court man-to-man. Switching right now on their ball screens.
Blue Devils back on top, under 4 to go.
This lineup switches 1 through 5 on the floor for Kara Lawson.
Oh, now Hidalgo's got the freshman on her. Working on Fournier, pulls up. Donovan way up for the rebound. Hannah now 2 for 6 to start the game.
Kara Lawson doesn't mind calling every set for her team. And she'll save a little something for the second half.
Kanawa, the quick burst, blocked by Westbeld. Mair defending on Hidalgo. Carlin calling for it. Another missed layup inside. That's 3 for Notre Dame.
Really good help from the weak side.
Kanawa attacks. Citron got a hand in there. And Kanawa relentless for the Blue Devils.
It's 1 speed for Kanawa, and that is fast. That's the only gear she has.
Up by 3.
There's no downshifting.
There's not many stoppages either. The Irish have been trying to get Miles back on the floor for 4 minutes. Still at the scorer's table.
I like the no call on that.
Hidalgo, Westbeld spots. Stepped off of that screen and hits it.
So good. So poised.
She's better than 40% from downtown this year. And she's got 8.
They're 42% as a team from outside the three-point line.
Best in the country. Under 2 minutes to go here in this first half.
Boy, she sold that one. She sold it. Kara Lawson knows it.
That's going to be on Fournier.
She's there. There's time. There's space. And Hidalgo throws her head back. And that makes it look like a foul. There's no faking the officials anymore, Beth.
Oh, Hidalgo lost it.
That's the ball doesn't lie, right?
Is that karma?
Yes, it is.
That is also 10 Irish turnovers. That's more than their baskets here in the first half.
And that's Duke's defense and tempo. This next 140 really important for the Blue Devils to maintain this or have a lead going into the break.
Kanawa, terrific change of direction. Pass into traffic, taken away. Too many defenders there. Here's Miles. Hesitates, swoops it up, no good. Duke coming down with it. Mair floats it up. Here comes Citron running with Hidalgo. Black jerseys getting back. Citron will attack anyway and get to the line.
That's a great play by Citron. Off the bounce, initiating that contact because the defender was moving.
That's the second on Kanawa.
She goes hesitation and then strong to the rim. I think last year when she had to play some point, and the year before playing some point, has really helped her become a complete player.
Hey, the 9th-ranked Tar Heels highlight the Thursday night ACC Network Women's Basketball doubleheader. We'll see if Alyssa Usby returns for Carolina. They'll be at Syracuse, Stanford at Virginia Tech on ACC Network.
Yeah, Usby played 2 minutes in that NC State game. Didn't return to the game. I hope she's all right. We're waiting on a word from North Carolina.
Final minute. 2-point Irish advantage. They've been the #1 team in the country for about 5 hours. And a challenge immediately from the Duke Blue Devils.
They're going to go 1-4 low, about 9 seconds. They're going to bring the ball screen.
Miles, she'll get into the lane. Flick it back out, Citron. Around and out, they had an open look. Chance for the Blue Devils, breakaway, Jackson gets it up in time and it won't go. 9 lead changes, 5 ties. And the Irish still have never trailed at halftime in a game. 4. And they are 20 minutes away from toppling the newly minted #1 team. The Fighting Irish taking over the top spot today. And Jaden Donovan starts out defensively for Duke with the swap.
That Duke 2004, I believe that's Allison Foley and Gail Gestoncourse's team. Allison Foley hit a big shot in the end of that game.
Citron gets into the paint and scores it. Notre Dame winners of 17 in a row. They haven't lost since November. They have 3 top 5 wins already on the resume. Looking pretty good for a #1 seed. The Duke Blue Devils, well, they're still flirting with a 2, possibly better if they finish strong. Shot clock's down to 5. Jackson. Blocked by Citron. Sonia will take it the other way and gets fouled. You know, as good as their offense is, Debbie, their defense often is overlooked. They've held 23 of their 24 opponents below their average.
Well, right here, Jackson sort of rejects the ball screen and allows Citron to get that space and get that block. And then Jackson gets lucky on the other end. If you're going to commit that foul, you better commit it so that she doesn't get the shot up. That almost was for an and one. And I do agree with you. I think Notre Dame's defense is very good as a team defense behind the play of Hannah Hidalgo, who's second in the nation in steals, who sets the tone on the top of the floor.
Citron and Westbeld, who have been here for 4 or 5 years. Big hole in the resume right now, looking for a trip to the Final Four at the end of the season.
This is what I'm talking about. Top of the floor, dictating the tempo with the defense. Hidalgo.
Those two are highly motivated. Here's Thomas in the lane. King defending. Mair dribbles into King, has to jack it up, and it goes off the side of the backboard. And the Irish have cranked up the defense, and they're on their feet. Here in South Bend.
Back-to-back possessions. Really good locked-in defense. Everyone communicating good habits. Moving their feet, high hands.
They are just not quite there yet with that blow-the-roof-off moment tonight. Miles just missed Hidalgo.
Well, you got to get the ball below the free throw line against Notre Dame's defense. You can't play on top of the floor.
Here's Richardson. Aggressive to the rim. Miles snags it, runs with it. 3-on-2. Citron backdoor, missed another layup. That's 4 for the Irish tonight. Richardson with the counter, swatted by Westbeld. The outlet to Hidalgo, who comes back for it and finds Citron. And that'll do it. Timeout, Duke. and a rockin' Reynolds Coliseum on K-Yow Court. Thomas, and a foul on King.
You know, Delaney Thomas drew 8 fouls in their last game against Wake Forest, and she has yet to be a factor. Thomas and Fournier have to be factors on the interior for Duke. It's a good job of drawing contact to go to the line.
And misses the free throw, 75% on the season. Duke just 2 of 4, Notre Dame 9 of 10 from the stripe. That is just the 9th point for the Blue Devils since the first quarter. And now they're going to try and change the pace here, and a foul called on Richardson.
This is what Neil Ivey has when you go full court pressure against Notre Dame. You can put a three-point shooter or Hidalgo on the backside and stretch the D. Now she moves Hidalgo back up to the front to handle pressure, which is where she probably should be, and Citron should be on the backside.
So tough to pressure them with the backcourt that they have.
And the three-point shooter on the other side.
Hidalgo gets a switch, Thomas on her, Westbeld. They spot the mismatch. Maddy goes to work. That's a smart look by Hidalgo and a move by Maddy.
It's a big-time move because she stretches the trap and then repositions to attack. It's really well done.
Biggest lead of the night. The Irish will look to extend.
They changed the tempo to start the second half with their defense. They got a couple of stops and were able to get out on the break.
Westbeld is the target. Hidalgo did not have a hand in her face, and she shoots it over Jackson.
Jackson not quite close enough. Too much cushion.
11 for Hidalgo. It's an 11-1 run to start this second half.
This is where Duke's got to accelerate through their stuff. They've got to execute well and get the shots they want.
Mair hesitates, hangs. Miles weak side. 3 on 2. Miles tried to get a little too fancy, lost the handle. Had shooters on either side of her. Irish, though, are going to get it right back. King lobs. Hidalgo lays it in. And it's the Duke defense, the Notre Dame defense that has changed this game. Lawson's going to let him play.
You got to get the ball below the free throw line, Beth. There you go. Nice curl.
Richardson short. They got numbers again. Hidalgo and Miles. Miles with the finish. And the Blue Devils a bit shell-shocked. They turn it over again.
Carol Lawson's got to be considering a timeout here. Her team has turned the ball over. They're trying to attack. They've thrown it around the gym here in the second half.
Miles, the fake, the lay-in. It's a 17-1 run for the Fighting Irish. A 17-1 run out of the locker room.
Yeah, and that 6 rebound number, look at that right there for Miles, because that's how they quickly get up the floor. When she goes to the glass, there's no outlet. It is a quick downhill tilted floor.
Fournier with the spin and the foul on Westbeld. So how will the Blue Devils respond here to a big punch? Will it be a knockout? Still 4:35 to go here in the third.
Situational offense has to be really good here down the stretch. Looking for Fournier. Jackson might have got away with a travel, and then she turns it, almost turns it over.
And Akanawa fouled on the drive. Who are they going to call that one on? Looks like it's on King. It's her second. Oh no, they're going to give it to Westbeld. That'll be her third. So a bit of a break there for Duke. Westbeld will depart. Carlin will come back in. Akanawa 67% from the line, and they miss another one now. 3 for 6.
court pressure. This is not an advanced pass team against pressure. They like to dribble it up.
They got folks that can do that. Citron, Carlin, tough catch, blocked by Fournier. Neil Ivey saying that's not a good decision, folks, and Duke will make them pay at the other end.
You want to get Notre Dame in a quarter court game. That's where Duke's defense is elite. They got a lot of work to do right here.
That's their first basket of this quarter, 6 minutes in. Hidalgo spins baseline. King tries to step through. And that'll go back to the Blue Devils.
You can almost sense at times, Beth, when there are certain players for Notre Dame that don't get a touch, that when they get it, they want to end the offense right there and make a play instead of keeping the ball moving.
Kanoa drives. Carlin got a piece of it. Fournier and a reach in on Miles.
And Fournier's got to be able to show. She's got to use her leverage and athleticism and quickness against the front line of Notre Dame.
That's the second on Miles. Fournier, the 5-time ACC Rookie of the Week, hits the first. Speaking of ACC rookies, on the men's side, Cooper Flagg's on deck. Our big Monday continues. Duke, Virginia, and Arizona, Baylor, all coming your way tonight on ESPN.
Everybody makes a big deal about Cooper Flagg, and you should, but Tyrese Proctor for Duke has been averaging 19.4 over the last 5. Come on, Malawach at the front of the rim on both ends of the floor is a tough matchup for everyone in the ACC.
Miles crosses, finds Caval, created off the bounce, drew a defender, found the big. Her first basket. And for Miles now, 7.6 rebounds, 2 assists. Fournier, one and done on that trip. Big burst out of the locker room for Notre Dame to bust open a close game at the half. And on the scramble, that's Duke ball. Got 2.5 minutes here to chip away a little bit more. Make it manageable heading into the fourth. And that's going to be a foul on Mair, pushing away Hidalgo.
Beth, if you don't have certain concepts in your system before you play against pressure teams, Duke has spent a lot of time here in the second half playing on top of the Notre Dame defense. And for Notre Dame, this is what they got to do against the Duke defense. Dribble entries are really important, and Duke's got to get the ball below the free throw line.
Hidalgo, Hannah with 13, trying to add to it. Weak side rebound, another chance for the Irish. 3 Notre Dame players in double digits with Citron and Westbeld also. Under 2 to play in the third. King, gotta get it up, and a foul with 5 tenths left.
At some point, Reagan Richardson is going to shake the slump that she's in. And Carol Lawson talked to us about it before the game. You know, she's got to play better. She has been struggling. And this would be an example of it right here. You have to know time and score, even when you're playing defense. It's not always offense.
She has 3 fouls now, is 1 for 7 on the night.
Did that hit the rim? I don't think so.
That was airmail. Prosper will try again. And that will stay at this end. Citron, another fabulous ball fake. No. Another offensive rebound and a block by Fournier. King trying to clean it up. Misses the layup. Another O-board, stripped out. And Duke comes away with it.
And that's a hustle play by Richardson right there. Maybe that'll get her going.
Fournier going to work. Down to a 13-point deficit.
You have to get the game where there's some pressure on Notre Dame.
Miles steps away. Caval going to work inside.
And Fournier never got all the way to the rim, was on the top of the floor, or top of the key. She's got to get in there and battle for some glass. This is a smaller lineup around Fournier.
Miles. Another offensive rebound for the Fighting Irish. They are pounding the glass here in the third. Caval, good help by Economo to get the block. Notre Dame, Duke will run with it and turn it over. Hidalgo and Westbeld will come back in for ND with 18 seconds to go here. 7 offensive rebounds this quarter for the Fighting Irish. They only had 2 the entire first half.
Westbeld in for an offensive possession here with 3 fouls. Same thing, 1-4 low. Westbeld with a ball screen. She goes through it.
Hidalgo will pull up mid-range. And that'll take care of the third quarter. 21-8. Notre Dame outscores Duke.
And then Niele Ivey saves for the fourth quarter. And I think in the third quarter, Beth, that looked like a #1 team. Yeah. Notre Dame looked like it out of the locker room.
Hidalgo. No, another offensive rebound. King will get it back out to Hannah. She'll try again.
The one thing you can say about Notre Dame on the offensive glass is Hidalgo and Miles are going to shoot it. So you could go to the boards. And King knows it. So she gets a lot of stuff on the glass. 9 rebounds right now in the game for King, even though she has not made a field goal.
Shot clock back up to 20 for Notre Dame. Citron lost the handle down on the deck. And a held ball. Niele Ivey, by the way, with the move today to #1, of course, joins Muffet McGraw, a pair of Notre Dame coaches that have reached the #1 ranking. One of 4 schools to do that, Debbie. 2 coaches that have been #1, along with LSU, Louisiana Tech, and Maryland.
That's some good history right there.
Yes, it is. Kim Mulkey is part of a couple of those.
Kim Mulkey's won everything.
We got a big game coming up this weekend against Kentucky after the Texas loss yesterday. That SEC title chase is a wild one as well. As it stands in the ACC, Notre Dame would stay undefeated. Duke would drop down to 11-3 in a third-place tie with North Carolina and Louisville, and NC State in second place all alone. With 4 games left, Hidalgo Hannah's now 4 for 13, got 13 points, 4 assists. Jackson's runner goes.
She's a shooter first, driver second, but she does a nice job with the offhand. And then you cannot let Hannah Hidalgo get behind your defense.
She does it again and gets the layup. She wanted a foul, too.
How can you let her get behind your defense?
And Wood's going to be called for setting the screen up top.
Carol Lawson was really selling us before the game, Beth, on her team not being as experienced and mature as others. Even though they have some big game experience, this is a program that returns 4 starters that went to the Sweet 16 last year. And you saw some of that really in the third quarter. You know, just the composure that it requires to not make back-to-back mistakes and to move on to the next play.
Westbeld. And a foul going to be called on Okonawa. That will be her third. Taina Mair comes back in. So Westbeld to the line. Coming into the game, just 3 of 5 from the stripe in limited action. Missed the first 13 games with that injury. But at full strength, Debbie, you'll be hard-pressed to find a better starting 5 than the one here in South Bend. Hey, don't forget the Blue Devils' next game, Louisville and Duke. That's coming up on ESPN2 on Thursday.
Jeff Wells in Louisville has one of the toughest finishes in the league. They'll be ready to play Duke and Cameron.
Duke's undefeated at home this year. And as it stands right now, those two would be tied for third place.
You want to be one of those top 4 seeds for the ACC tournament so you can get the double bye. It's really important when you play in a competitive league like this.
Yeah, with realignment and now 18-team conferences, if you're at the bottom, you got to win 5 games in 5 days to win the title. A near impossibility.
The NC State men did it last year and went all the way to the Final Four, but it was not easy. And there's Miles rebounding quickly into their transition.
Steps back for 3. Citron got a hand on it. Hidalgo with the left scoops it up and in. She's got 17. And the Irish comfortably in front again.
Hannah Hidalgo never takes a negative step on defense. Watch her defend in her footwork. She doesn't step backwards when she's defending. She steps towards you or to the side.
Thomas to the right hand with the finish.
I really thought that was going to be Duke's advantage tonight, was their interior play. Especially coming off the game that Delaney Thomas had, where she drew 8 fouls on the Wake Forest defense.
And instead, it's Notre Dame with the advantage in the paint.
I mean, Notre Dame gets a lot of their points in the paint off their penetration.
Yep.
I expected Duke to punish them with their back-to-the-basket play. And that did not happen.
That is going to be the 4th foul on Reagan Richardson, and another frustrating night for her. She's been working hard to get it back to square, but Duke will press on without her. Had to hoist it. King trying to clean it up, and a shot clock violation.
Hannah Hidalgo's like, I'm wide open in the corner. And she's yelling at the official, and Duke's driving the ball off the floor. Gotta keep your focus.
Donovan has to get it back outside. Mair fouled on a reach. Fournier and Westbeld set to check back in. And it'll be Mair at the free throw line. Duke 6 for 9. Down the first. 2 assists and 4 turnovers tonight for Mair. Coming in her last 10 games, her assist to turnover ratio was 8-1. So a testament to how scrappy the Notre Dame and pesky that defense has been, especially in this second half. They turned a close game at the midway point and busted it open in the third.
Well, I thought Mair played really well to start the game. She set the tone, and it was a one-possession game for a long time in the first half.
Under 5 to go. Westbeld looking for Citron, and Donovan with another block off the noggin of Sonia and out. And we'll take the timeout. 55-41 Irish. Of an ACC title. They will be at Miami, then at NC State. Game day will be there on Sunday, and they'll close out back here at home with Florida State and Louisville. And there's your standings with the 2-game lead right now. Remember, the top 4 would get those buys for the ACC tournament. Save yourself perhaps a couple of days and a couple of games.
Ashlyn Jackson, the best three-point shooter for Duke. And she's 0 for 3. She has not had a good look tonight.
Down by as many as 18. They've got down to 12 here. 4 minutes to go. Now need to stack some stops. Shot clock winding down. Citron to Carlin for 3. Got it!
I mean, what a bailout at the end of the clock. Carlin has made 8 of 12 three-point shots this season. You can bring a weapon like that off the bench, come on. So balanced and complete is Notre Dame, especially here in the second half.
McConnell muscles it up and in. There's a takeaway. Fournier missed the layup.
And there's where you have multiple ball handlers against the press to initiate offense.
Citron with the smaller defender on her. Good read by Carlin.
She just does a great job of shedding Mair and back cutting. It's exactly what you need to do in your pressure package against the Duke defense. This is so well done and set up by Citron off the ball. Does a nice job of getting a quality catch and finish.
Back up to 15, 3:03 to go. Check-in brought to you by Allstate. Big second half for the Fighting Irish. Yeah, they have busted open a close game. 3 minutes to go for Duke to try and turn the tide. Hidalgo with 17, Citron 15, Westbeld with 11.
And Duke has one player in double figures, Beth, and that's Mair.
Fournier scores inside. She's got 9. I mean, if you hold Notre Dame to 60, you're giving yourself a chance, but the offense just has not been there yet to back it up. Shooting just 38%. A lot of that's got to do with Notre Dame's D tonight. Swatted out of bounds. Five on the shot clock. Citron steps back. McConnell got it. So quick up the floor, and Hidalgo was able to catch her.
Wow, that was speed on speed right there. The closing speed of Hannah Hidalgo against the quickness of Akanawa with the ball. Once she crosses over, she brings it right to Hidalgo to get that steal.
And what may be the National Defensive Player of the Year, #2 in the country in steals and scoring, is Hidalgo.
She's gonna get my vote.
Oh, the hesitation, baseline, and a trip to the line.
There is incredible change of pace about Notre Dame. They've proven tonight that they can score in a slower game. It's not all high flying and circus act, you know, at the rim. It is, they didn't make as many threes as they usually make, only 6. It's a really good job in the second half by Neil Ivey. The adjustments, the motor was revved up in the second half for sure.
Trying to enjoy their first night as the #1 team in the country. First time since 2019. Also might be making a case for the overall #1 in the NCAA tournament. With still a couple of weeks to go and then the postseason conference tournaments. Of course, we had the first reveal yesterday, Debbie, and the top 16 shaked out like this, with UCLA still up at #1. And there would be your 4 top seeds: UCLA, South Carolina, Texas, and Notre Dame. 4 ACC teams also in line to host first and second round as a top 16 seed. Mair scores backdoor.
You know, it's dangerous to press Notre Dame because they give you numbers on the backside like this.
Hidalgo. Oh, offensive foul. I think, is it on King?
I think it's
for
on
trying
King.
to clear space.
It's really hard to press him. And Carol Lawson waited as long as she could before she had to bring the press.
Crowd not appreciative of that call. Duke gets a 3 here, it's down to 10.
See if they can get Jackson free.
Akanawa knocked loose and lost it. 18th Duke turnover.
I mean, Akanawa is point A to point B with her ball handling. Maybe not so much in traffic, right, to try to make a decision in a play. It's an area she can get better at for sure. And then she's going to be really dangerous.
Working that clock now, final minute. Neil Ivey wants a timeout so they get. That's what's going on right here for the Fighting Irish. Their best start in league play since 2016. And putting up some big numbers today, showing that they can play when they don't drop 80 as Miles scoops and scores.
The other thing, too, for Duke is Mair had Hannah Hidalgo on her second half, really dictating on the top of the floor. You almost have to have someone else, a secondary option, so that you can get Hidalgo off the ball. You can't, it's hard to run offense against her on top of the floor. She's that good.
It's another quad 1 win tonight for the Irish, that it will be their 6th. And the other piece of criteria, too, that the selection committee has, Debbie, head-to-head wins against UConn, Texas, and Southern Cal.
Yeah, 3 really good top 10 wins. A complete effort in the second half by the Fighting Fighting Irish, who brought the fight to Duke in the second half. The new #1 will enjoy a night atop the polls with a win against Duke. 64-49 your final. Hidalgo with 19, Citron 15, Westbeld with 11.